Okay, so we're going to get started. Hello, everybody. My name is Fanola Fabone, and I'm the Associate Director of the First Year Experience in Orientation and Transition Programs. And I'm so excited to welcome you to another Wednesday webinar. We have an exciting group of folks here to talk with you all, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves in a moment, but did want to share with you just a few reminders from our office. One is that at this point, all of the communication that you're going to get from UVA is going to your UVA email address. So just really important that you check that regularly. And then my last reminder is to make sure you're continuing to check the tasks in your new student portal. Those tasks will get you ready for the first day of classes. And we're really excited to see you on grounds if you have not been here already for orientation. But I have representatives here from the Office of African American Affairs, Multicultural Student Services, and HoosFirst, which is an office that provides support for students who identify as first generation and limited income. And so I'll hand it over to them, and I'm excited for you to hear what they have to say. Awesome. Jeffrey, you're up.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful summer and a wonderful evening. My name is Jeffrey Smith, and I am an assistant dean in the Office of African American Affairs. I've been here at UVA for about 7 years, going on 8, and I'm excited to meet you all as you get here on grounds in August.
Hey everyone, my name is Carissa Temerson. I use she, her pronouns, and I work in Multicultural Student Services. Our office supports historically underrepresented and marginalized students, with my job specifically being to work with Hispanic Latinx students, Native American and Indigenous students, and LGBTQ students. And I'll pass it off to Kaylee.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, as Chris has said, my name is Kaylee Obermeyer. I use she, her pronouns. I am the program coordinator in HoosFirst, which, as Fanola mentioned, supports our first generation and limited income students at the university. And I am a first gen grad myself, and I graduated from UVA about 4 years ago. And so really excited to share how UVA has grown to support our first gen students ever since.
Awesome. So we just had an opportunity just to share our names and where our offices and what we've been doing here at UVA. So now we're going to go into a time where we're going to present a little bit about our offices. And I'm going to start with the Office of African American Affairs, and I'm going to share my screen so you all can just kind of follow along with me as I share a little bit about our office. So the Office of African American Affairs was created in 1976 to assist the University of Virginia in developing a welcoming, supportive environment for its Black students. Through its programming and outreach, OAAA enhances the university's knowledge, sensitivity, and understanding of Black issues, culture, and history. These efforts contribute to UVA having the highest graduation rate for undergraduate African American students at a U.S. public university for the past 30 years. So those of you that are African American, that are Black, we serve all the students in the Black diaspora, African diaspora, and we want to make this big place called UVA, we want to make it small. We try to ensure that you feel welcome, that you belong, and just an inclusive environment, just to make sure that you understand how you're going to navigate this place as you begin your career here. So I just want to show really quickly our squad. So our leader is Darren Kelly. He is the Associate Vice President and the Dean of OAAA. Then we have Dean Kelsey Kelly Smith. She is our first year Dean. So she is the one that you are going to be most connected to as you transition into the university. And every Black student that comes to the university is connected automatically to a peer advisor. We have a peer advisor program of second, third, and fourth year students to kind of help you navigate and begin the transition from high school to the college. And so you should be getting some type of communication in the next couple of weeks, a letter, an email, some type of text from your peer advisor just to kind of welcome you and reach out. So I just ask each of you that will be receiving that communication, please don't leave them on red. Please don't ignore them. Please respond back and say hello, because this is just a way for you to have somebody that's already here on the grounds, already in the grind, already kind of knows the lay of the land to help you connect onto UVA, into Charlottesville, to kind of help you navigate classes, help you to navigate the space where you get your hair done, where you get haircuts, where we hang out, where you get food, just those things. It's a peer advisor. So please, once again, once you get that communication, please do not leave them on red. Then our second year dean is Dean Shameen Boone. She oversees our grad star program. And then Hasheen Davis is our director of the Luther Porter Jackson Cultural Center. And then, of course, myself, like I said, I am an assistant dean in office. I oversee and support our fourth year students. And then our admin team is Miss Angela Comfort, as well as Miss Deanna Carter. So this is the team that will be supporting you and helping you and building community and being part of our family for the next 4 years. So I just encourage you, as you make your ways to ground, please connect with us. Please get on our calendars. Please come hang out at Dawson's Road number 4 and just begin to build community with us as you begin your journey here, because we want to make this place your home away from home. And so these are some of the programs and services that we provide. As I just stated, we have a peer advisor program that helps our first year and transfer students transition successfully to the university life. Then the Grad Star program, it supports academic success and leadership development for undergraduate programs through 3 programs: the Raising the Bar program, the mentoring program, and our Pathways pre-professional advising. So we sit with our students, we help them, and we come alongside with the college to help you navigate your courses, help you to kind of advise you to make sure that your schedule is what it needs to be. Over the years, I've had students that come and sit with me, and they have Arabic, chemistry, biology, German, all physics, all on the same semester. And I say, absolutely not. That is a semester of hell. So we want to figure out why you have that coursework, and we go, those classes, and we're going to figure out how we get rid of some of that stuff and help you navigate and have a successful semester, because we are all about protecting the GPA. If you come in your first semester and you get a 3.5 to a 4.0, the rest of your time here at UVA will be pretty solid, because it's really hard and difficult to drop significantly, and life happens. But if you come out and you blow the first semester out of the waters, you are set, because your GPA from that point on will consistently be high. So we advise and we sit with you and help you navigate your first year and your first semester. Then, of course, we have the LPJ Cultural Center. In this center, we have the Black Male Initiative, we have Black College Women, we have Project Rise. So this helps our Black men come together and have conversations to build brotherhood. We have Black College Women, for our Black women to come together and just deal with the issues and build communities as they're here at UVA, but then also at the world at large. So it's a great opportunity just to build community and be a part. And then one of my favorite things that we have that I oversee every week, every Friday at the end of the week, we have an event called Black Friday. We come together for food, fun, fellowships, just opportunity for you just to build community with the Black community, with other people around grounds. And it's just a time for us to have fun as we end the week. And so I would love for each and every one of you to come and be a part and participate in a Black Friday. We have a bigger one coming up August 30th from 1:30 to 4. I'm telling you, it's going to be bananas. So I'm inviting everybody. I don't care who you are. Everybody can come out and participate. We're going to have food. We're going to have games. We're going to have DJ. We're going to have some water balloons. We're going all out for the first one. So it's going to be a fun time just to kick off the semester together as a community. And so these are just some pictures of just you seeing what OAAA has done over the years as we come together. These are some of our events that we do together, just a chance to build community, have a good time, just to let our hair down. But that's what it's all about, being able to come together as a community, because depending on what major you decide to go in, you might not see too many people that look like you. And we want to be that space and that place where you can see the representation that's here. And we are here in strong numbers, represented here. And OAAA is a place that you want to come to and be a part of. And once again, here's some more pictures, as you can see here, of just us, our identity, coming together for a Black Friday, come together for our events, just to spend time together, just to grow and love on one another. And then one of the things that we are so proud of, as I talked about earlier, is that we've had the highest graduation rate for the last 30 years. But at the end of your 4 years, one of the things that we're building on, that from year 1 to year 4, we have a kente ceremony in your 4th year where we come together to celebrate all your accomplishments, that you've made it to the end. that you are able to graduate. And so what we call at the end of the year, fourth year, is donning of the kente ceremony. And each graduating Black senior will get a kente stole and get donned as an opportunity for bring your family, your friends, cousins, auntie, neighbors, whoever it may be, to come and celebrate you as you begin your journey from the university into the real world. So as you can see here, these are some of our recent graduates, just smiling, beautiful. You see the beautiful kente stole, and they are handcrafted from Africa. So we get them imported from Africa, created, and each individual year gets an individual class, get an individual symbol that designates, that helps kind of distinguish the class from others. So this is what you can look forward to as you begin your career here at UVA, that knowing at the fourth year, when you graduate, you are going to be celebrated and you are going to be championed. And so then I just want to share real quickly just some Black organizations that we have on grounds. These are just a few of them, but we have many, many more. So like I said, we have Black College, we have Black Voices, we have all the Divine Nine, most of the sororities and fraternities that are here. We have Afro-Hoos, we have a pre-medical society, we have a Black President's Council that brings all the leaders of the Black CIOs together to talk about the issues that are going on programming, and we help them navigate and strategically plan and strategize of how to continue to build community within their individual groups. So we have a whole host. We have BSA, Black Student Alliance, we have BOSS, we have Remix, we have Organization of African Students, we have One Way Christian Fellowship, of course, the Peer Advisor Program, we have National Society of Black Engineers, we also have a National Society of Black Physicists. So if you want to be a physicist, we have that. We have ESA, Ethiopian Student Association. Don't tell nobody, but they're my fave. So I don't want y'all to spread them in the streets because there's supposed to be no favoritism. But ESA is my favorite one. I love them so much. And so there's many other organizations that you can participate in to make sure that your UVA experience is robust. Let me continue. So as I said, with the Peer Advisor Program, we are just celebrating 40 years of leaving a legacy of a helping hand for those students in need. And so really quickly, I know I'm taking up a lot of time, and I want to allow my colleagues to jump in here and share their great offices as well, because we partner with them. But I just want to share really quickly just 9 things that we share with our students as they come in. Number 1, I want y'all to write these down, take a screenshot, whatever. Do not feel pressure to decide your profession or vocation in the first semester of college. Please, I'm sorry, I know this is recorded, but please do not feel pressure. I know your parent them, I know your grandmama, your granddaddy, whoever it may be, tells you go do this the first semester. Listen, y'all, I just want to be an example to you. I did not destine my first semester of college to be a dean, to be in higher ed. None of that. It took trial, error, success, falling, failing, my face. But I had mentors. I had people that came around me and saw something in me and pulled me out and pushed me in the right way, gave me necessary advice. Sometimes I didn't want to hear it, but it was necessary to help me develop and grow into the pathway and to the man I am today. You do not have to make up your decision what you're going to be in your first semester. You have all 4 years to determine what you want to be and what you want to do. Now, I will say, be strategic. We're not going to be playing games here. Don't just take courses for the sake of courses. Don't just, I'm going to try a little bit of this and try a little bit of that. No, I had a student that she wasn't sure what she wanted to do, but it was between economics and it was between business. So what she did was she navigated her schedule where she looked at prerequisites and took courses that could get her into both. And so that if she wasn't able to get one or the other, she had the option to do that. She was testing and filling out what she could do, but she was strategic about it. So be strategic about what you want to do. Second thing, meet with your association dean at the start of the semester. Please do that because they hold the keys to everything you want to do academically, and it's good to build a relationship with them. And then number 3, visit the OAAA office during orientation week or before classes start to meet the deans and staff. Come see us, number 4 Dawson's Row. You have an opportunity to meet with me, the rest of the deans as well, and our staff, just to kind of get acquainted. We want to see you, want to meet you. By the first week of class, get and use a planner to post major university deadlines and event dates, including major exams and paper due dates. I tell my students all the time, they always say mid-semester, I feel like I don't have any time. I don't know what's going on. I'm just running ragged. And I always say, what does your schedule look like? How have you planned? What's going on? What's your time management? And I sit with my students and say, hey, let's put everything on your calendar, literally from what time you're going to wake up to what you're going to go to sleep, when you're going to go to sleep. Put everything on your calendar so you know what time that you have to do what. I rather you be planned, or I rather for you to plan or be planned, because time is the only thing that we can't control. So plan or be planned. So I tell them, look at the syllabus and put everything on there so that you know what you have, what time you have to do extracurricular, be a part of groups and things of that nature. Because if you don't know, things are going to run together, and you're going to be stressed, depressed, and out on a limb. So by the first week, put everything on your calendar. Everything, literally, sleep, when I'm gonna eat, when I'm gonna go to the bathroom, when I'm gonna go to this class, when I'm going to study hall, when I'm going to office hours, X, Y, Z. Okay. Number 5, pay serious attention to your course combinations. Once again, your course sequences are important. I don't want to see Arabics, biology, chem, physics all on one semester. Once again, that is a semester from hell. We don't want that. You can balance it out and be successful. Number 6, do your best to pay attention to your prerequisites. Like I said, your prerequisites to where you want to go are important so that you can be strategic in your first 2 years of what that looks like to navigate the pathways to be successful. So if you have an idea of where you want to go for business, you might want to look at econ or biology or chemistry. Look at those prerequisites so that when it comes time for you to declare your major at the end of your second year, you're able to navigate successfully and be strategic with that. Number 7, if you have not had calculus before coming to UVA, consider taking a course in college algebra or trigonometry at a community college and transferring the credit to UVA. College algebra and trigonometry is rarely offered at UVA. This just helps you strengthen your math skills and help you to master it, because calculus here at UVA is different than what you've got in high school. So just as a refresher of your math, it just helps you to have that under your belt. And then number 8, to fulfill all your foreign language requirements, consider attending the Summer Language Institute between years 1 and 2 at UVA. We have a Summer Language Institute that literally allows you to complete all your requirements for your languages. Why do you do that? Because that frees up your semesters to be able to focus in on your requirements for certain degree majors. So if you get all your languages out the way, if you're in the arts and the College of Arts and Sciences, you're able to complete all that in the summer, and then that frees you up, 1, to do things earlier, but then also to move through your major quickly. And then number 9, y'all, just it's a balance your UVA experience so that you can get the most out of it. And I want you to get the most out of it. We want you to get the most out of it. You don't have to rush and do everything the first semester, the first year, or even the second year. Build it out to how you want to look and how you want to engage here at UVA. So I just want to thank y'all for this opportunity just to speak with you. I want to give my information. Here's my information, my name, my email address, my number to my office and our website. Screenshot that so that you have it. If you have any questions between now and when you get here, please reach out. And another thing, we have on move-in weekend, we have a family and fun night at 1515 that we invite all the families and friends, your family, to come meet your peer advisor in person. It'll be 1515 that evening. And then that Saturday after move-in, we're going to have a welcoming ceremony for all our Black students and families, just for us to properly welcome you to the university. And once again, my name is Jeffrey Smith. I'm the Assistant Dean at OAAA, and I look forward to seeing you in the next month.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeffrey. That was really great. So I'm gonna present now next for Multicultural Student Services. So I'm also going to share my screen. So bear with me for a second. All right. So Multicultural Student Services. I'm going to give a little bit of an overview. I'm going to introduce our staff members and then talk about some of the programs and services that we offer and ways that you can start getting engaged with our office. So here's our staff. So at the furthest to the left is Dean Vicki Gist. She is the director, of the office. And she does all of the major overviews of what we do in our office. She does all the strategic planning, And she oversees everything. And then additionally, she does DACA and undocumented student support. We have Alex Winkowski, who's an assistant director, who's actually transitioning out of our office soon. Dashan Axon Lawrence is also an assistant director who does most of our academic and student success programming and social justice education. That's me, Carissa. I work again to support Hispanic Latinx students, Native American Indigenous students, and LGBTQ students. Nehali Patel works with our Asian Pacific Islander South Asian students and our Middle Eastern North African students. And Davon Lewis works with our Interfaith Student Center with Muslim student support and doing all of our marketing for our office. So that's the team that we have. Generally, our office has a two-part mission. First is to support historically underrepresented and marginalized students at UVA and to do programming to help with student success, with advocacy, with services and programs. But the second part of that mission as well is a social justice education mission. So we provide social justice education for the whole university, for students, for other departments. And we have programming as well that helps with promoting intercultural engagement and like dialogue across different groups. So kind of the general breakdown of our office, like a very large overview. Programs and services includes transition programs, so helping students get acclimated to the university upon entering. Student success, so that can be like overall wellness, academic success, financial success, advising, identity development and support. And we have specific staff members who work with our different identity communities. Multicultural community engagement, so that's like social programming and community building. Social justice education and intercultural engagement. And then we run 5 different student centers in Newcomb Hall, which is like one of the student hubs on grounds. So we have the Multicultural Student Center, the LGBTQ Center, the Interfaith Student Center, the Latinx Student Center, and the Asian American Student Center. And then the specific communities that we've been charged by the university to support are Asian Pacific Islander South Asian American students, Hispanic Latinx students, LGBTQ students, Middle Eastern North African students, Native and Indigenous students, Muslim students, and DACA and undocumented students. We support a wide array of students, and we also support students who fall outside of those specific communities, but those are the ones that we have a specific focus on. But we provide support for all students at UVA, especially historically marginalized and underrepresented students. So talking a little bit about some of those transition activities, we have peer mentor programs, which is one of the more relevant things for you all as incoming students, and then new student welcome events, which is also pretty relevant for you. So we have 3 mentor programs. We have the Peer Advising Family Network for Asian Pacific Islander South Asian students, the Middle Eastern North African Mentoring Program for Middle Eastern North African students, and the Hispanic Latinx Peer Mentoring Program for Hispanic Latinx. And those programs start a little bit over the summertime, towards the end of the summer. So they're like just working to get up and running and getting their programming together. But they're just starting to do some communications and posting things on their Instagram page in for the program. And then when you do, you get paired with an advisor or mentor who will then reach out to you, help you like figure out some stuff for your transition to UVA before you actually get here. And then we'll meet up with you during that first week of classes when you first get to UVA. And then they have like 4 or 5 different social programs that happen every week for the first like 6 or 7 weeks of class. And then after that, they do like regular routines like programming that happens during the semester. Your mentor or advisor will meet with you frequently and bring you to like academic and overall student success programming, and also bring you to a lot of social programs. So it's a really good way to get involved in the communities, learn about different student organizations, and then also have like a specific mentor who's there to support you during your whole first year at UVA. And so like the expectation from the mentors is that they're going to consistently meet with the new students. They're going to take you to the planned programming, take you for community building opportunities, and then help connect you to relevant resources. So welcome events that you all might be interested in. So we have a new student welcome and like reception on the first day of classes. So it's going to be on that Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. We have a big welcome event in the Newcomb Hall Ballroom where we do kind of a brief overview like who we are and a little bit more in depth about what our office does and the things like to get involved in coming up soon. And then we do community receptions in our different spaces in the building. So we have different receptions for each specific community, and then we have all the like student organizations that are associated with those communities come and actually table and like have people sign up to be in like their group meet chats and follow them on Instagram. So if you're interested in getting involved in like culturally specific student organizations, that's a place where you can go where they're all going to be there in one spot next to each other. And then you can learn about the different orgs and actually get signed up for them on like the first day of classes. So it's a really good way to get connected. Our first kind of like big fun event for our office too for students after that is our first Feel Good Fridays, which is a fun lunchtime like afternoon event that we're going to have on Friday, August 30th. So after that first day of classes. And that's also an event that we have on the first Friday of every month throughout the whole school year. And then for that first 6 weeks, we do our Wahoo Welcome activities. So we have lots of activities that happen in all of our different student centers during that first 6 weeks of school. So there's gonna be a lot of things that you can go to and a lot of ways to get involved and like meet new people. We do multicultural student success. So that involves academic and career related resources, support. So we have a lot of those things happening in the Multicultural Student Center. And some of those things involve Food and Foresight Friday, which is a Friday afternoon, like lunchtime program that invites different like academic programs and service opportunities at UVA in to talk about how to apply to those, like apply to the comm school, apply to the like Batten School of Leadership and Public Policy. How do you get involved in service opportunities at UVA? How do you like figure out how to study abroad? We have all those people come in to like talk to you. So it's a really good opportunity to learn a little bit more. We also do drop-in advising in the Multicultural Student Center. So we'll have the Writing Center come. We have academic deans coming. We have student financial services come to talk to people. We have peer-led tutoring that's housed in the Multicultural Student Center. So lots of different opportunities for help there. We have pre-professional series in the springtime where you can go on like this trip with other students to either the law school, the business school, or the med school and learn what it's like to be a med student, a law student, or a business student, a day in the life of that student, take a mock class, like eat lunch with students, meet professors. So it's a really great opportunity if you're thinking about any of those professional schools. We do a career series. We have individual academics advising as well. We bring in esteemed faculty to come talk to students about how they got to that point in their careers. And then we also have interns that work for us who specifically do programs to help other students with like their success at UVA. And then we do identity development and support. So that includes leadership programs, having our specific identity centers in the building, and then individual and organizational advising. The leadership development programs for first and second years and incoming transfer students happen in the springtime. And there's going to be information sessions about all of these in the fall. So if you are interested in one of them, you can attend an information session coming up in the fall. We have the Asian Pacific American Leadership Training Institute, the Latinx Leadership Institute, and the Muslim Institute for Leadership and Empowerment. And then for second and third years, which would be most relevant for transfer students, is the Women's Asian American Leadership Initiative, which happens in the fall, and applications for that will open up at the very beginning of the semester, and then it will start a few weeks into the semester. So lots of interesting opportunities for leadership development and like working on special projects. So those are also really great opportunities to get involved in. These are just pictures of all of our student centers. And again, the Latinx Student Center and the LGBTQ Center are on the same floor as each other on the third floor. The Multicultural Student Center is our biggest center. The Asian American Student Center was most recently opened. It was opened in October of last year. And the Interfaith Student Center is an event, but also a prayer space. So we have some services and opportunities in our different specific centers. So all of our centers have interns. Most of them have volunteer programs as well. If you only want to do like an hour of volunteering a week instead of like a 10 to 12 hour a week internship. We have staff members who are connected to each specific center. We do identity-based programming in the centers. We do community building. Student organizations can reserve our space and host their events there in the evening time, so they're always busy. And then we also do community engagement. Some of our like signature events and programs are things like Comida y Comunidad and the Latinx Student Center. So dinner usually and some sort of like fun craft or some other like program or game that's happening. Queer brunch in the LGBTQ Center. The LGBTQ Center also has 5 affinity groups for specific identities within the LGBTQ community. So we have Sapphic Circle for lesbian and bisexual women. We have ACE Aerospace, which is for asexual and aromantic students. We have the transgender and gender nonconforming group. We have the queer and trans BIPOC group, and we have Black Queer Club. So there's a number of different groups that you can get involved in. The Interfaith Student Center also has socials, and then we do celebrations for the heritage months that are associated with our different communities that we work with. This is just to get an overview of the staff members who are associated with the different centers. So all of our staff does work with all of our different spaces. We have community engagement in the Multicultural Student Center. And so that center specifically is for programming that's not so much identity based like the other centers, but is for everybody. So we do our academic success programming. We have intern programming there, general community building. We have a first year dinner series for first year students who are coming into UVA, and more information will be available about that during the fall. We have social justice education workshops, and then again, student organizations reserve the space every day to host events. So there's always something fun happening in the Multicultural Student Center. And then finally, we have social justice education and intercultural engagement. That mostly looks like some workshops that we have, and then teaching some students to facilitate workshops. So from the LGBTQ Center, we have safe space trainings. And so those are a general safe space training that's 2.5 hours. We have a primer on pronouns, so a training on gender identity and pronoun usage, and then a transitioning workshop. So if you're trans and you're coming to UVA and you're interested in learning about gender affirming healthcare and policies at UVA and where to get support in Charlottesville, that's a really, really helpful workshop. And those can all be found on the website for the LGBTQ Center. And then we also have multicultural peer educators. So we teach a class, I think it's being taught in the spring this year, where we train students to become facilitators for social justice education workshops that we offer. And we have 6 workshops, and then students will take the class, learn to facilitate workshops, and then they'll actually go out and do facilitation for organizations, fraternities and sororities, dorms, sometimes UVA departments. So it's a really great opportunity to get trained to facilitate these types of workshops and facilitate difficult conversations. This is just some graphics from events that we had recently within the last year or two that were really, really popular. So we kind of have a really wide array of things that we're hosting. And then that's our email address. So you can always get in contact with the staff member if you email that. And then our Instagram pages are honestly the best way to keep up with what we're doing. We post all of our events on the Multicultural Instagram, so MSS at UVA, and then UVA LGBTQ on Instagram as well, posts all of the things from the LGBTQ Center. So if you're ever interested in what's coming up for the week, we always have a bunch of programs. Everything's on Instagram. So I highly recommend you follow us. It's the best way to get connected with our office. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna stop sharing now.
All right, thank you, Carissa. I'm going to transition us to talking about HoosFirst. And I will echo, Instagram is the best way to learn about all and any of the things that all 3 of our offices are doing. We know that that's the best way to reach you all. And so between that and newsletters, I think you'll be covered. So before I get started, I just want to emphasize, if you all have any questions, I know we're throwing a lot of information at you. Please throw them in or submit them in the chat. We would love to hear any thoughts, comments, questions you have about the work we're doing. This is your hour so that you can be really just informed and enriched by the things that we're sharing. So please, yeah, please share any questions you have. So again, my name's Kaylee Obermeyer. I am the program coordinator in HoosFirst, which is a brand new office and team that supports our first generation of college and limited income students. We are a team of 2. We are led by our fearless leader, Michelle Bear. She's the inaugural director of the program, and she has many years in the field supporting first-gen students and through previous TRIO programs. And for myself, like I mentioned before, I'm a first-gen grad of UVA. I did some first-gen work during my time as a student and afterwards, and so we're both really excited to be a part of this new office and support you all. And we have been around for 1 year, and we've done lots of exciting things. And so I'm going to share a little bit about what some of those things are and what you can expect for this upcoming year. But first, I want to address, you might be thinking, what is HoosFirst? Like, what do you guys actually do? And do I count as a HoosFirst student? So first generation, what does that mean, right? So at UVA, we define first generation as a student where neither of their parents went to a 4-year American institution, right? So that means maybe your parents did their bachelor's degree abroad. Maybe your parents, they started school and didn't finish school, or maybe they did school, but they went to school later in life. For instance, my mom, she never graduated high school. And then my dad, he did some technical school, but never finished that either. And so we really try to be super inclusive of what the first generation identity is, because we know everyone's story is different. And so even if you're like, I don't know if any of that like fits who I am, just come talk to us, right? We never are going to deny a student our services. Even if you don't identify as first gen or limited income, you are always welcome in our space. And many of the programs that we do throughout the year, we collaborate with organizations that intersect the first gen identity, right? So whether it's partnering with Multicultural Student Services or OAAA for Black Fridays, or even Student Council, right? We did a Build a Bouquet event earlier this year where you will see us and you will be a part of one of our events at some point in your UVA career. So it's good that you're here and you know about us, right? So that's first generation. The second term, limited income, we are really open about what this means as well. Limited income means you could receive $1 of need-based aid from the university or from somewhere else, and that is how we define limited income, right? You're getting some sort of need-based aid. And so on your financial aid application, that could look like Access UVA is one of the scholarships you can get. It could be federal work study. It could be a Pell Grant, maybe a scholarship from your high school. It can mean a lot of different things. So again, if you're confused about any of these terms, please come talk to us, and we're happy to help you navigate your first gen or LI identity. And so what does our office do with these two things, right? So it's really twofold, or what do we do with these identities in this community? On one hand, we are a support service for students, and so we can connect you with any office that you may need more resources from, right? So student health and wellness, student financial services. Maybe you have a question about a class. Maybe you want to get connected to a mentor, or you don't even know what a major is, right? Like I walked into college and I actually didn't know what a major was because I didn't have anyone in my family who could support me and kind of teach me those things. And so any of those confusing terms, lingo, whatever it is at UVA, right? We're here to help you. And so we are not able to do case management style work. We have over 4,000 first generation students at UVA, which is amazing. I'm like, round of applause, right? It's really, really awesome. Because of that, and we're 2 people, we can't be mentors for each and every student. However, if you come to our office, we are going to connect you with someone who can be, right? So just make sure you're knocking on our door. So that's part 1 of what our office does. And part 2 is the fun stuff. We do tons of programs throughout the year where we really try to build community and enrich your experience as a first gen or LI student at UVA to kind of bridge those cultural barriers that continuing generation and your wealthier peers might have access to. And so it's twofold. So let me talk about some of the fun stuff. So throughout the year, we do 2 different kinds of events. We have signature events, which we host every single year without a doubt. There are annual, for sure, like this is happening events. And then we also have one-off programming where we collaborate with different offices and clubs at UVA. So let's talk about what we do every single year. So in this fall semester, we have, or during summer, we have summer orientation, which, is happening right now. And that's how we're talking to you all. During the first couple of weeks, when you set foot on UVA, we're going to have a HoosFirst welcome reception. That's going to be for all incoming first year and transfer students to the university. So that's what this picture is right here. This was last year. We had over 200 students come out, which had never happened before. We give away t-shirts, water bottles. You hear from student speakers. We have the president of the university who is first generation. He comes and he speaks, right? And so we really have so much leadership that also carries that first gen identity. And so we try to invite them in at every opportunity we can to take part in our events. And so it's really just a space for joy and fun and celebration. And so that's going to be our first year welcome reception. We're also going to have, you've heard the term Wahoo Welcome a couple of times this evening. We have a couple events throughout those first 6 weeks of the year as well. But this is our main one that we offer. The second thing that we do, you're going to have a fall break when you're at UVA, and you're going to have a spring break. And so, some students, they travel, they go home, they have a lot of fun during those times. We want to make sure that if you don't have anything planned, then we offer an opportunity for you to still get some rest and have fun too. And so this fall, we're hopefully going to partner with the Career Center to do a career trek to New York City. So we're going to use those couple days off that you get on fall break to get some professional development in. We're going to go up to New York. You're going to meet with alumni. You're going to network with people who are interested in you, right? Who are interested in serving our first gen and LI students, and maybe get some job connects. This is going to be open to everyone, including first year students, because it could land you an internship for next fall, or maybe an internship for next year. It doesn't have to be exclusive just to our 4th years who are graduating. So you can get excited about that. We also, during the October and November months, we celebrate first generation celebration week. So we like to go big or go home. Everywhere across the country on November 8th is National First Generation Student Day. And we decided, all right, instead of a day, what if we turned it into a week? Because again, we like to do the most. And so so this is a whole week of events that are just so fun. It's really meant, again, to build community, bring you all together, and also connect you with other offices. And so last year, like I mentioned earlier, we partnered with OAAA, and we had Black Fridays in the Multicultural Student Center. Again, so that is where you're seeing all 3 of our offices right here tonight connect and represent you all. And so that's just one example of something that we do during HoosFirst Celebration Week. We also have a First Gen Honor Society that we recently inducted our first class at UVA. And again, you're eligible just by existing, and if you have over a 3.2 GPA. And so if you can, like Jeffrey was saying earlier, like get that 3.5 and above, like this first semester, and continue that into this first year, then you'll be eligible for this First Gen Honor Society. You'll get your own special cord when you walk across the lawn at graduation. It's just another way to highlight you, right? And then for our parents, you're wondering, how can we get involved in all of this and kind of be in the know? We do have an event in the fall that's geared towards our families, and that'll happen during Family Weekend in November. That's right around HoosFirst Celebration Week and that time. And essentially last year, what we were able to do, if families were coming into town, but you didn't have access to go to the football game that's happening or any of that, we gave away 75 tickets to the football game. And if families are also concerned about, reduced housing costs, like how can you come visit town and see your student, but not pay an arm and a leg to get a hotel at the Graduate or whatever hotels, open at that time, you come see us and we can connect you with someone who can make that a little easier for you. So, so those are some examples of things we do in the fall. During the spring, we also, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to have a spring break. And again, we try to provide opportunities during that time. So this past year, we took students on a civil rights tour through Atlanta, all the way over to Montgomery, Birmingham, and Alabama. It was an awesome, awesome trip. We took 19 students and it was incredible, right? So we're going to switch it up this year. We're not going to do a civil rights tour just so we can get a mixture of different experiences, but we will offer one again during your time as a student. So keep an eye out and know that we're going to have another exciting opportunity this year in place of this. And so that's what you can expect for the spring. And then I know it's so far out, you're probably not even thinking about it right now, but again, 4th year, you're nearing graduation. What can you look forward to? We have a 4th year graduation reception that we provide for all of our students. That's where we pass out your stole that you're going to get when you graduate and wear proudly across the lawn. We passed out over 600 this year, which was really, really awesome. Again, we didn't have any of this when I was a student here 4 years ago. And so to have this kind of momentum and this space to advocate for you is really awesome. This is the time to be a first-gen or LI student. So we're so glad that you're here. So I'll just briefly mention, because I know we want to save some space at the end of the call for questions. I mentioned those are all of our signature events. We do those one-off programs with other community partners and students. And so these are all of our first gen and LI student organizations we have at UVA. There's 10, which is incredible. And so when I was a student, there were 4. And now students, you know, if you don't see yourself represented in a certain space, you can make change by leading an organization of your own, right? So we had students this past year create a first gen network at the McIntyre School of Commerce, which is our business school, right? And so we have one in McIntyre, we have one in nursing. We had some students in the education school put together a coalition. We have students who are over in our graduate schools. If you're interested in learning about law or Darden, which is our graduate business school, right? There's support everywhere. And so if you are looking for a community that's specific like that, you can find that. And we also have clubs that are open to everyone, no matter what your interests are or what your identity is, such as Flip at UVA. That one is just kind of like a general body organization for students. You might be wondering, how can I join these orgs and all of the other programs that were mentioned earlier in this call? During your first week or 2 you're at UVA, there's going to be a student org fair. It's going to be super overwhelming. There'll be like 600 clubs plus. It's going to be insane. But that's where you're going to find all these orgs and how you're going to sign up to participate. And if you aren't able to do it at that time, if you just get overwhelmed with how many folks are around because everyone is there that day, then you can find all this information on our website too. Okay, so I told you a little bit about what we do. You're like, great, I want to participate. This sounds really awesome. I just want to clarify that you might have been seeing like dollar signs when I was talking. You're like, okay, this is really cool, but like, how much money am I going to pay? Let me just say nothing, right? Like, we're here to cover all those costs. We want to make sure that this is accessible to you, so you don't pay anything out of pocket for participating in these programs other than, you know, if you want to go to like a gift shop if we're on a trip, or if, you know, this upcoming Friday, we're taking students kayaking. And so if maybe they want to buy a bathing suit or like, you know, water bottles, whatever, right? Other than those things, these will always be free of cost to you. So that's really cool. And you're qualified and eligible to participate literally just by following us on Instagram and signing up first, right? So know that. If you want to take it a step further and you're like, cool, I want to participate. And Kaylee, this seems like a lot of work for you to handle. Do you want someone else to help you plan? Yes, I do. So we are hiring some student workers this fall. Student workers will be federal work study eligible only. And so if you have questions about that, please reach out. It just means on your financial aid package, you would have seen a little tidbit that said you are getting federal work study. We have someone who's going to help me with programming, someone who's going to help me with social media because I need the help. We'll also have people who are working our front desk. So we have all kinds of positions available for you. And if you're not first gen, and if you're not federal work study eligible, but you still want to get involved, we're going to have volunteer opportunities, and these people will be known as HoosFirst ambassadors. So no matter, you know, how or who you are and how you want to show up, you can, you always can with our office. So, so that's that for HoosFirst. If you scan this, will bring you to our Instagram. Again, we highly recommend you follow us there. That's where we're going to post things first about what we're doing. And then we're also going to have a newsletter we're going to send out this semester, and we're going to post about that on Instagram too. So please follow us, give us a like and a follow. And I believe now we are going to open it up to some questions from folks. And so if you could, please drop any in the chat. And I think the first question we have here is if we can get the slides after the presentation. And I think Fanola is going to answer that for us right now.
I think she answered it earlier. She said the
Oh,
slides
she
will be
did?
up on our. She said the slides will be on
Oh,
our website, orientation.virginia.edu later this week.
great.
So you'll be able to get the slides later on this week.
And this is why I need someone to help with social media and the internet and just things in general, because again.
Any other questions? Don't be shy now. We don't bite. And there's no stupid answer question.
I'm trying to think if there's anything maybe like pieces of advice we could share, but honestly, I loved the 9, like pieces of advice you shared in your presentation, Jeffrey. That was amazing. So I think that kind of answered it for all of us, or at least let us know we could come to you if we need help, right?
Right. Yeah, we try to just give practical advice, to the students coming in that's not too overwhelming for them, because UVA can be, coming to college, leaving home in their first gen, things of that nature. There's going to be a lot of things that we've even thrown at them, but there's a lot of things that the university is going to be throwing at them that they're trying to just navigate and try and put in some order, get some peace and get some calm. And, one thing, like I said, that I always tell my students, just breathe, take it easy. Listen, you have 4 years to get it together. You don't have to, ultimately, the first thing, you don't have to get it all right in the first semester. And I always know that first semester is a transition, and is one that they're going to have to figure out, because they're trying to figure out new people, roommates, ground, Charlottesville, new city. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. So it's just great that we have these offices. We have HoosFirst, we have MSC, we have OAAA, we have OTP. We have Student Affairs Division all over. We have a Career Center. We have CAPS. Things of that nature that they'll be able to see webinars all over that is here to support our students as they navigate this place and space. So really, the best thing that I could advise is always just connect with our offices, connect with Student Affairs, connect, ask questions. Don't be afraid. It's a big place, but we do our best to make it feel small, and we want you to be seen, and heard. We want to know about what's really going on. I have a couch in my office that students come, they sit, and we just have conversations about life, because a lot of the times the things that they're dealing with affect their academic experience, the personal things, the mental things, the social things, the emotional, the spiritual things. So we have an opportunity just to talk and see about those issues. It frees them up to be able to focus in on their academics. And so we're here to do life with you as you go through these 4 years. And so we want to make an impact where we can to help you be the best that you can be.
Yeah, I'll also just add in there, like, if you need help with something, please come talk to somebody. Like, talk to one of us, talk to a staff member, talk to your advising dean. If you are like having financial problems, you're having like a family emergency, you're not alone. Like, you can get help for that. You can have like financial help, you can get accommodations for your class. But if you don't tell anyone, no one's going to know to help you. And that is so important. So many students, like, after the fact, are like, oh my God, I failed this like exam because I had to go home for like this emergency. When like, just talk to somebody about it, because there's a lot of resources and you just need to talk to someone so that you can access those resources. So I'd say that 100%. Is just so important. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my biggest fear when I was a student, like during my first couple semesters, it seemed like everyone else around me was doing great. You know, like no one was talking about how they weren't doing great, or if a class was hard, or, you know, if they got a C or something, right? And I think that created this like hush hush, right? But it's not true. Like everyone is going through this for the first time together. And the more that we talk about it and the more that you reach out a hand and you ask for help, just like all of us have been saying, it'll just make your time so much easier and you'll thank yourself down the line, right? And you never know like what that relationship that you form just by asking for help, right, can land you. Like so much, there's so much respect just from like
Yeah.
having the courage and willingness to step forward and say, hey, can I get a little bit of support, right? Like that's how you make fast friends. That's how you find a mentor. That's how you really like build a support system at UVA, which is a big school, and you find your people who are just going to make your journey a little bit easier. So I think all of us will be the first to say, like, please come knock on our doors and just ask for help.
Yeah.
Yes.
And be content knowing that your journey is unique and that your journey, your pathway is not the same as everybody else's. And kind of like what Kayla was talking about, you know, everybody's not talking about it, but you have a unique journey, you have a unique pathway, and you have to be content and secure in knowing that whatever pathway you choose, you stick to it and be okay with that. And it's not going to look like anybody else. But if you ask for help, you get the resources necessary, you're going to get to that end goal of graduation and you're going to be successful in that job, in that career, in that internship that you get to because you have made the conscious decision like, hey, this is my journey, this is my story, and I'm going to stick with it to the end.
Awesome. So seeing no more questions, I just wanted to say thank you very much to all of our guests. Like we wrote in the Q&A section of the chat, if you would like to see the slides, these videos again, you'll be able to find them in a few days on our website, which is orientation.virginia.edu. And these folks remain available to you both now and when you arrive in the fall. So y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.